Let's take a look at the three-toe sloth of cryptocurrency Dogecoin. Last time when I looked at Dogecoin was on September 26th. Here is what I had predicted. This is our falling wedge. Let's look at some of the indicators. Volume continued to be low. But if we look at the volume action for the past 7 days, it is actually increasing. It is more than the prior 10 days. Now that is a good sign, but we still need the volume to increase even more. The stochastic oscillator is definitely showing that Doge is in this way oversold. The Bollinger Band continue to contract. And lastly, the price actions over the past 7 days showed that this 20 cents seems to provide a very strong support every time when the price dropped below that. The same day, buyers step in and helped to push the price up. So Doge ended up closing the day over this 20 cents. So this seemed like a very strong baseline support. All of these indicators are pointing to a very high probability that I believe Doge could be able to break out of this falling wedge and stage a temporary recovery in price. However, for that to happen, Bitcoin has to stabilize and trend higher. Because if Bitcoin were to continue to retrace, then all probability is those would follow and drop even further. So I hope that is not going to be the case. In summary, Doge is looking bad right now, but there is a very good probability that this could be the bottom, and then we would likely see a reversal in price. The key for us to look for is when those trade over 22 cents. Fast forward, this is the daily chart for Dogecoin, and the data I have is to 6:50 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on September the 29th. The last time when I looked at Doge was right at this point, the 26th. This is the falling wedge. And after that, Bitcoin retraced. So for the next 2 days, Doge continued to drop. Yesterday, Bitcoin was down big. So Doge retraced and temporarily dropped and closed the day below 20 cents. But the minute Bitcoin stabilized and trend up, that is what Bitcoin is doing today. Doge also follows, stabilize, and trending up. Right now, Doge is trading over 20 cents and at 20.2, up 3%. So far, the 20 cents seem to provide a very strong baseline support for Doge. And what's really important is if you look at this candle, looks like Doge is beginning to make a move to break outside of the resistance of this falling wedge. Switch over to the hourly chart. This is the resistance of the falling wedge. And as you can see right now, Doge is making a move trying to break out of the resistance of this wedge. The only thing that I do not like is the volume continue to be extremely low. That is not a good sign. I would love to see the volume start to pick up, because trying to break out and stay above the resistance of this falling wedge on low volume is not something that I would like to see. Switch back to the daily chart. Let's quickly go over some of these indicators. First, moving averages continue to look extremely bearish. We had this crossover where the 10 days drop now is lagging below the 50 days, and the 10-day continue to trend downward. That is not a good sign, because the last time when the 10 days cross over and drop below the 50 days, we ended up with this huge drop in price where Doge dropped from about 35 cents to below 16 cents. The volume continues to be very anemic, which is not a good sign. The Bollinger Band is contracting, but the only problem is right now Doge is riding the lower band of this Bollinger Band. That is not a good sign. However, looking at the stochastic oscillator, there is a positive sign. Doge is in this way oversold. The signal line is at around the less than 1%. This is extreme oversold. Another thing that I see potentially for something positive is we see the crossover. There is a crossover at this point, and the blue line crossover and is leading the red line. This could potentially be an indication that bargain hunters are stepping in and they are helping to push the price up. And that is what we're seeing in terms of the rise in price of Dogecoin today. So now this is what we need to see happen. Doge needs to be able to stay outside of the resistance of this falling wedge. And ideally, it needs to trade over the 10 days moving average and stabilize over that. 3 days ago, the 10 days moving average was higher. So the key price level at that point was around 22 cents. But now, as the price has been retraced, the 10 days moving average had also been dropped. So now the expectations for Doge is lower. Instead of the 22 cents, the price to look forward to is for Doge to trade over 21 cents and stabilize over that. What we really need to see is Doge close the next couple days over 21 cents. That would give us the comfort that now Doge is trading above this 10 days moving average and confirm the breakout of this falling wedge. And if that is the case, then Doge would likely stabilize and slowly trending up and eventually reach the prior high at around the 32 cents. That is when Doge started to form this falling wedge. On the flip side, given the fact that the volume continues to be extremely low, in the event Bitcoin retrace, there is no doubt in my mind that Doge would follow. And then the next level of support would be at around the 18 cents, where it would also be testing this 300 days moving average. I just hope that is not going to be the case. Hopefully, buyer would step in and we would see volume start to increase. That would be an ideal scenario. So let's say if I were to look for accumulating or buying Dogecoin, I would not do it at this point. I would rather wait until those stabilize over 21 cents. Because right now, there's always a risk, given the fact how bearish this chart is. Those can still potentially drop down more. That's it for this video. And don't forget to click that like button and reward me with a like if you appreciate the content that I'm presenting. Also, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button and subscribe. And make sure you turn notification on. And if you have Twitter, make sure you follow me at Vietmaxim because I provide constant update on all of our favorite cryptos.